everyone, what's good, what's poppin'? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Caroline, that's me. And oh my gosh, y'all, the hairline, this install, ooh, everything about this video is phenomenal. Just eat. Hyper realistic custom M-shaped hairline looks. And if you know, you know, this hairline is honestly inspired by the Nigerian Lagos hairstylist, the wedding hairstylist. They know how to like make the type of like hairline, and I feel like it's now trending. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to achieve this with a 5x5 closure. That's right, y'all, this is a closure. I'm gonna show you everything from the install, the plucking, the melt, especially as well as what I do for the curls itself, because the curly hair, the waves in this hair is the moment as well. Which brings me to the sponsor of today's video. The wig that we're working with in today's video was sent to me from Asteria Hair Company. This is their 36-inch super long and full and fluffy highest density WATERWAVE wig, and I have this in a 5x5 closure. This wig did come pre-plucked and pre-bleached, which gave me like a really good base to start on. Even though I still go in and customize everything, it makes things a lot easier and faster when you have like the basic plucking and bleaching done. So yeah, with that said, let's sit back, relax, get right into today's video.
Bad things, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god, that's my baby, Caroline.
The key to getting that install to look custom is to install it customly to you. So that starts off with getting a proper lace tint on your head. Now whenever I tint my laces, I use heavy creams like foundation or concealer. I use makeup because you can buy lace tint. I feel like to get it custom to your head, you got to get the shade to be your shade, and lace tints, they really don't come in various ranges, and I feel like you can honestly get the perfect match by testing out different foundations. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation Concealer. It's a foundation and concealer, and I have shade 12 and shade 13. So this is shade 13 right here. I put on my forehead where the lace is gonna like sit, and this is shade 12. So you can see shade 13 basically disappears into my head, and then shade 12 I use in the winter is more lighter, so I'm gonna pick, and I just pump that on my back of my hand, and I just buff that in on the underneath side. Lace is tinted, and to make sure the wig fits as securely and snug as possible, because that too goes into a good install, is having it nice and flat and fitting right on your head. So you gotta, you know, put the clips. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on. That little lace tint we've done, the lace is already damn near disappearing into our head versus earlier. Like it's already getting there. I love how companies now are wise and they actually like put little curves on these closures so they can like actually sit in our ears properly. Thank you. First, you gotta cut off like the thick stitching on the side. I don't know why they come with those. I think that's just like, I don't know, part of the wig construction. But you don't want to lay that part down. You gotta make sure you cut it off because it's thick and bulky lace, and it's just not gonna lay. So just always cut that off. So I want to go in now and just create a bit of a custom hairline to myself for my natural forehead, like my natural shape. Honestly, even if it's not your natural forehead, creating like this like little custom hairline looking thing and taking it from this like simple shape that they always like kind of make and making it look like it's been a little tweaked a bit, that really just makes the hair look so more like, whoa, like that's her hair, you know what I'm saying? So I always like to have my wig down further than I would, because my hairline starts like back here, but for this technique I'm doing, you want to have that wig down further enough where like it would cover up your edges on the side, especially like low edges. I don't call it like it's like a soft widow's peak, because my widow's peak isn't that sharp. So I'm going to pull out a little bit of hair right here in the middle part, kind of to where my natural hair in the middle would start, because we're basically creating a widow's peak, but this is more like a softer widow's peak in my opinion. So I pull out that line. And now, starting from that line that I pulled out, I'm going to draw like a little like heart in a way. Just like a little semi-heart. Or like it's like a heart, you know? Like, that's one on that side, half a heart basically. Or you can think of an M. But I think more like, because it ends up looking like a heart, that's too much. And you want to get it as symmetrical as you can, because you'll be annoyed if you pull up, if you do too much. You just want to see how like it's a heart, like you want it to come down at a peak. You know what I'm saying? You see it? Y'all see the heart? I hope y'all see it. And now this part, You could either use Nair, like apply Nair to help pull out the hairs, or you could be psychotic like me and just yank it out. But if you're scared, honestly, applying Nair is a lot better. I'll probably make a video showing all that. What I do is I take my hand and apply like tension, like you would like if you're like, you know, when you're like, you know, you're waxing hair, they always try to help like pull that skin back to help apply tension. That's what's gonna help you not rip your lace out. Don't just yank it out. Ow! 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 I just hit my nose. Oh my god. Ow! And I hit my period. And the reason why I yank these hairs out versus like, what's it called? Versus plucking the hair out. Versus plucking the hair out or cutting that hair out. You want the hair to come out completely clean from the knots. So cutting it out is not going to get the same effect. It's going to leave knots behind. It just looks, it doesn't look as like scalp-like if you cut out that excess hair. And sure, you could pluck it out, but that's just like too much work, too much effort. This only works if the knots come out easily and the wig is bleached. Honestly, if you're watching this video and they haven't bleached the knots, bleached especially for the knots to come out easily, because like they're a little bit weakened from the bleaching process, so they can come out a little bit easier. Ow, I'm bleeding. Oh my god. No one talks about the extreme sports involved, but see that new hairline we've created? Like, look at that. Like, we haven't even laid the lace, and y'all see how like it's already starting to give natural. Don't mind my bloody nose, okay? It's already starting to give like, ooh, girl, who did that? Okay. Now we can go ahead and proceed to lay the lace. Now that we've done like all that little prep work. And like I said, it's a closure, so laying the lace is about to be so simple and so fast. I'll show you. Today, to lay my lace, I'm gonna use the ORS wig grip spray. I want to go for more like a light hold because I'm not gonna sleep in this wig. Really big, thick wigs like this, I cannot sleep in to save my life. Like, it gets really hot. Thank goodness it's a closure. It's a closure. Putting it back on day to day is not gonna be too stressful. But if I want like a more long-lasting, like overnight type of hold, I would use the Kiss Color Spray, which I have lots of detailed tutorials showing how I used that. Ow, my nose. But anyways, I'm using a razor to help cut off my lace. Do not be using blunt, fat, chunky kitchen scissors or just scissors in general. This is like little tiny cuticle scissors to cut off your lace, because you're getting like a very like line of you're gonna get like a straight line on that lace, and that gives like a very wiggy line of demarcation look. We want a more natural, we want the lace to be like cut a little bit jagged, a little bit raw, so that way it gives a more custom hair, it gives like a more natural lay on the lace. So I'm gonna use my razor. I prefer to use the little cuticle scissors I mentioned earlier, but I can't find mine because the razor, as great as it is, sometimes it's hard to control where it's going. You want to make sure you're using a nice sharp razor, not a dull one. You want a sharp one's gonna cut right through that lace easily. Okay, and I cut off as much lace as possible because, like I said, less lace, as much lace as possible. People like to like save some lace. I don't get it why. I feel like excess lace just gives it a more wiggy look, because how can I say what lace when I've got all that excess lace like that right there? That was crazy. This is glueless. Like, what? That's crazy. I haven't even like laid it down for real. And it's already eaten. And then to just lay that lace, which I don't know why we need to because I can't even see it, I just spray underneath on where I can, and the parts where I can't get underneath, I just spray on top. I try to spray as close to the lace as possible and control that drip, because that drip when it dries ends up with like a little sticky residue, which is annoying to have to clean up. Okay. And up here I spray on top. I use my finger, as you notice, using my finger to help pat out that product to spread it where it needs to be. No lace left behind. And now to help like seal in that spray, go with my blow dryer and something flat to press it all down. Now I will say, when you're doing this, to really get that what lace look, you're not pressing just to press, you're pressing with a purpose. You're looking into your mirror hardcore and you're seeing any lace that's sticking up, and you're using this flat surface to press it down and like unfold it. If it's not pressing, it means it probably didn't get any spray. You gotta go in, spray it, tap it out, make sure you get that edge, all those little edges pressed down. Now to hold down the lace and let gravity do its thing. And also to really give that lace the melted look, you have to actually melt your lace. Like, skipping this step is a little bit criminal, y'all. Like here where I didn't pluck is nice and like thin and get a little like going on. We want that same look up here now. And now what we're gonna do is just make this hairline look more natural. First, I'm going in my hot comb. I like to see what the back of the hairline looks like the hairline looks like. So you gotta like push it back upwards, I guess, so you can see. Detailed plucking tutorial. For those of you who don't know how to pluck, I have one, like a couple, so go check that out. I'm gonna get like a little quick basis rundown. Get a nice, sharp, good quality tweezer. Not one that's sharp enough to pluck a hole in your lace, but a good solid one. I like the Revlon Men series. I'll have this link down below as well. This one lasts you a long time. It's sharp, but not sharp enough to pull a hole in my lace, because some tweezers are too sharp. I'm pulling out the front line. I say the front line for last. I like to start behind the hairline. Pull the hair down. Now we can do the front portion and kind of just clean it up. Make sure you're holding on that lace the best you can. Sometimes I have to like do like this with my fingers to hold on the lace and to pull the hair back at the same time. Do what you can. I don't know if y'all can tell, but this side versus this side, not plucked, a little bit more. It just looks a lot more natural, less dense. We don't want a very like wiggy, thick front hairline. You could pluck more, but I've learned you kind of don't want to pluck too much initially, because then your wig, when it starts to shed and bald, doesn't have much room to like, you know, to preserve the longevity. You don't want to pluck too much. Unless you don't give a damn, then go ahead and get that wig look like scalp. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to this side. Get into that. Y'all see how natural that looks? Like, what? Get into it. Now, almost there. Now we're going to put the band back on to hold it down. Especially after all that plucking. That's the thing about glueless installs though. Just like using like a lighter hold spray. Now we're going to melt and flatten this hair to sculpt it to our head shape and to the like the look. Like I said, it's about customizing. All right, get my hot comb nice and hot and really press that hair down on the sides. And for the roots, for natural look, I like my roots to be pushed upwards and then to the side. That's how you get it like coming out of your scalp look. I don't like my roots to be flat. I like it up and coming over, up and over, up and over. That's how you get the like scalp look. So I do up and over for everywhere. With some hair mousse. Kind of like, instead of doing edges these days, I'm going for a very like natural kind of look with this. I just do like, instead of baby hairs, I do edges. So I like to take mousse and just kind of like swoop and clean up that hairline and just like literally lay the edges. This really gives like a really, I don't know, it just does something. Like it cleans up the look so well. So you just want to like, you know, do little swoops like you would if you're cleaning up like your edges, if you've ever done that. And I swoop it into the back of the hairline. Like, see what I'm doing? Like it's looking very much natural. I'm gonna make this one come down a little lower too. Just like maybe like a low hairline look. I might pluck a little bit more on this side, but that's for later. Get the center too. Oh, look at that. That is looking scalpy-yana. Now we're just gonna elastic band her down again to really help mold that mousse. You have to like be careful with this part. I have 2 bands on because sometimes the shape that she molded will move, and I hate when that happens. To flatten it, I just go parting in closure where the closure starts, and with my hot comb I just try to press that hair nice and flat down. You can start from the top and do that, but I'm telling y'all, you get a much more professionally done result when you do it by parting it in. Like going part by part. And really use that back part to press it down. Like this back is what gets the wig flat. The combs are just meant to separate the hair. Press. And just get it to mold around your head shape. Since it's curly hair, I don't have to like be very precise in my parting. I do want some volume. I don't want it super flat. Because curly hair, you can have a little volume. But if it's like a straight, sleek look, I would make sure I'm going smaller sections and really focusing on pressing everything. Alright, cool. This section. And press. Up and over, up here. And press. Blend it all together. So I'll place my hot comb right in the middle too. See that? Now let's repeat on the other side. Alright. Now let's get into styling this hair. She is big and long. Ella. So I'm just going in first and brushing out the hair. Gotta brush out that old curl pattern. I like to use a combination of water and mousse, only because water takes forever to dry, and I feel like the mousse just helps the curls last longer. This is a very concentrated version of the mousse I like to use, just because it's cheaper to buy it this way. So, this is the Nairobi Set and Wrap and Shine Foaming Lotion. But first, I like to go in with water just to help like soften the hair down. But I don't like to use water all the way because the water takes forever. Before I used to just use water, because you only just need water to get the curls to look good. It's about the technique, not the product. But now I like to incorporate the mousse because that saves me drying time. I guess the curls slash waves do look better. Will last longer when I use mousse. Make sure you get those ends. Don't cheat the ends. It has half water and I pour half of this in there because it's a concentrated version, and just mix as much as I need. And then I go in the mousse. Work that mousse throughout the hair. And now you actually want to saturate the hair with the mousse. The water we didn't saturate the hair with, but the mousse we want to. You could do this in sections, but I'd be lazy. We just want to make sure there's no fluffy dry piece, because the mousse is going to help like transform the curls. And you have a fluffy dry piece, it's not going to look nice and pretty like the rest of the curls. So get under that hair, the sides. I try not to do the top too much because we already like hot combed and flatten it down. I don't want to ruin that hard work by getting it to curl up. Brushing the hair until I see the like waves come together like I like. And I brush it on the bottom for the ends to curl up. I like scoop my brush like this so I can get the curls to come through. And that's why I get to like that ringlet and the curls. Scrunch those ends. Scrunch the hair to get the curls to like form together. Ends look nice. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. And for me, I like my ends to look really nicely like full. Doesn't matter how long. I feel like a lot of the times the ends are always kind of like not the thickest, so I do like to like chop them a little bit just to like get them to like look really nice and full. I always chop my ends, even just like a little bit, y'all. It's gonna really make the curls curl a lot better. And I just kind of like rebrush the ends back. Because whenever you like cut them, the ends become blunt, so you want to like rebrush them to reactivate that new swirl in the bottom and re-scrunch. Alright, now we're gonna let the hair dry. To get that like nice defined curl look, don't run your hands through the hair. No. Let it dry just like this, untouched in front of you so you don't like bump into anything. Let it dry fully and I'll show you how to like separate to get that voluminous look. But right now you want to leave it clumped together like this. Don't touch. So once the hair was fully dry, I took off the band hair. Is what we are looking like. It's giving a scalp, right? But see guys, I'm a perfectionist, so I did have to go in and do my what I call cleanup touches. So cleanup touches means I gotta go in and like pluck any extra hairs that doesn't like look like it belongs. Sometimes I'll go in and like re-thin the hairline, like right here on the sides was still kind of bulky for me. I just like literally clean up the look, take anything that doesn't want to be there. If it doesn't look right, probably needs to be cut out. Sometimes I'll even cut even more lace if possible. And then after that, I go ahead, and this is like a preference. Some people don't like this. You can stop right there, but I like to sometimes add a light colored concealer right in the part. It kind of just makes the part look more like emphasized. Not everybody's a fan of this, but a lot of like professional hairstylists do this step a lot too. So I like it. If you do, don't do it if you don't. But here out the finished look, it just looks so freaking good. This hair looks nice and fluffy. It's so big, it's so long. Like this wig was literally giving professionally done. It is the moment. Like this is the perfect vacation wig. Thank you so much to Asteria Hair Company. But yeah, I'll see you guys in another one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out, Girl Scouts. Goodbye.
My niggas in the hood, she precise. Real wise, we ain't taking no advice. Nah, I realize that these hoes ain't right. Don't even ask if they know what's the price. Ain't got a snow, they already know it's white. I talk to God cause I been baptized. I got mob tied to the north side. Flow with the sticks on the nigga straight slime. They gon' make the north side high crime. And I hit a lid with these niggas dropping 10. Hit a lid with these niggas dropping time. Looking on the friend, I'ma break her back in. Looking at the watch, I can't waste time. Take off. Woke up this morning, can't remember nothing. Two bitches just flowing from London. The thing I remember, they calling me daddy. The mattress was covered in